Thanks to George. Just gone 6:30, you're watching East Midlands today, and yes, tonight the heat just keeps going on.
Yes, we have smashed the temperature record in the East Midlands. We've been very close to 40 degrees Celsius.
Plus, I'm finding out how pupils are staying cool at school. It's nice and cold. Yeah.
It's a good idea they're giving me an ice pop because it's so hot.
Also tonight, turning back the clock in celebration of 100 years of the BBC.
And in the sport, how Loughborough represents all of England, Team England, in the run-up to the Commonwealth Games.
Hello there, good evening. Yes, it's a Tuesday. Welcome to the programme with me, Anne Davis. And hopefully the end is in sight. But before that, of course, we have had to deal with another record-busting day as far as the temperatures go. In a moment, we're at one very cool school, out with the bin men on an extra early round and seeing how care homes are coping. First of all, though, Kay, up in the newsroom, she can tell us just how hot we have been here in the East Midlands, and crikey, Kay, it has been warm.
Yeah, exceptionally hot, hasn't it, Annie? Now, before we get on to today, I just want to talk about last night first, because we had broken records before we'd even started the day. We had our warmest night on record last night. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. We were all tossing and turning last night, weren't we? Now, many areas had a tropical night, which is where the temperature doesn't drop below 20 degrees. The warmest spot was Market Bosworth, which recorded a minimum temperature of 21.3 Celsius, and that beats the previous East Midlands record, which was set during the summer of 2016. So we started the day on an unprecedented note, and there was only one way those temperatures were going to go. Now, we have officially had the hottest day on record in the East Midlands. Now, again, like yesterday, we do have to wait until around 7:30 tonight for today's highest figure to come in, but our hourly reports have given us a figure of 39.2 so far, which has smashed the record set, well, yesterday. Now, again, I am expecting that figure to be a bit higher, so whether we've tipped into the 40s and whether we have been the hottest place in the UK, we'll know later this evening, and of course I'll have that detail in the late news tonight. But in the meantime, later on in this programme, I'll be talking about thunderstorms, Anne. Yeah, the weather story continues.
Crikey, thunderstorms, thanks, Kay. Just doesn't stop, does it? And the heat's put our emergency services under intense pressure too. Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service today declared a major incident, and crews in Nottinghamshire are currently tackling a huge fire in Blidworth. There's also been widespread travel disruption, with the heat affecting journeys by road, by rail and even by tram too. Well, Hugh Caswell is here. I mean, Hugh, it just seems like a catalogue of chaos at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, simply, Anne. As you say, a major incident declared by Leicestershire Fire and Rescue Service just after 4 o'clock this afternoon, which the service says is due to high demand across their patch. Includes one at Newtown Linford, which they were called to just before 1 o'clock. People living nearby have been told to keep their doors and windows shut. And as Chief Fire Officer Callum Faint told me this afternoon, while the major incident means they are still attending emergencies, it might mean they take longer to get there just because they're so stretched.
We're experiencing large numbers of calls with quite a lot of fires in the open, so a lot of woodlands, a lot of trees, a lot of grass, those types of fires. Some of them are fairly large, so are using a lot of fire engines. So at the moment we have chosen to declare a major incident, which basically highlights to partner organisations that our capacity is stretched.
So that's in Leicestershire. There is a similar picture across the region, though. Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service say they've had the highest number of fires in a day for a decade. Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service say they're dealing with an exceptional number of incidents around the county, including a significant fire in Blidworth. That's now been declared a major incident as well, with crews from around the county dealing with it. Local residents earlier today were evacuated from their homes. Police have closed the Blidworth Lane junction of the A614, and you're still being told to avoid the area. And there's a fire close to Nottingham city centre this evening as well, at a block of flats in the Hockley area at the moment. 6 fire engines in attendance there. The service saying the flat is well alight.
Gosh, Gosh, it's dreadful, isn't it? And it's not just that. I mean, there's been chaos on the transport as well.
There certainly has, yes. I think there's been a real toughening up of the messaging from some transport operators throughout today, from telling you only to travel if you absolutely need to just don't travel at all. East Midlands Railways haven't been running any services from the region in and out of London from about lunchtime. We've had an update from them in the last couple of hours saying they won't be running any more for the rest of today. Rail bosses just saying that temperatures are higher than what the tracks and the overhead lines are equipped to deal with. We've, believe it or not, heard reports of roads melting in Derbyshire, gritters out in some parts of the region as well to try and limit the impact on the roads. And there's been severe disruption on Nottingham's tram network today as well, with the trams themselves just really struggling to cope in this intense heat.
Crikey, Hugh, thanks so much for that roundup.